The American South is known for its warm hospitality, ancient oak trees, and deep-rooted history. But beneath the charm and beauty lies something far darker. Old plantations, forgotten battlefields, abandoned hospitals, and century-old mansions still echo with footsteps from the past. These are places where time stands still, where tragedy lingers, and where the spirits of the dead refuse to move on. Tonight, we are stepping deep into the shadows of the southern United States. From Louisiana's swamps to Georgia's hidden cemeteries, from Texas's haunted hotels to Mississippi's restless plantations, these stories are terrifying because they are real. Real encounters, real hauntings, real people who walked into these places and came out shaken. If you think ghosts are just stories, wait until you hear what visitors, locals, and paranormal investigators have experienced. Cold hands touching them in the dark, apparitions standing at the end of long hallways, voices whispering when no living person is near, doors slamming, lights flickering, and shadows moving with purpose. These are the 15 most haunted places in the southern USA. Places so chilling that even the bravest people will not walk through them alone. Haunted place number 1. The Myrtles Plantation, St. Francisville, Louisiana. The Myrtles Plantation in St. Francisville, Louisiana is often called one of the most haunted homes in the entire southern United States. It stands like a frozen memory in the quiet Louisiana landscape, covered by ancient oak trees and wrapped in heavy curtains of Spanish moss. Many people visit this place hoping to experience its beauty, but they leave speaking only about the strange events that happen inside the main house. The atmosphere alone makes people uneasy. There is an unsettling silence that seems to watch every step you take. The plantation was built in the late 1800s by General David Bradford. Ever since the house was completed, reports of strange sounds and shadows began. Many visitors claim that the building itself feels alive. Floors creak even when no one is walking. Doors open slowly on their own. Cold spots float across rooms even in the warm Louisiana heat. People describe the feeling of being followed, touched, or watched by something they cannot see. What makes the Myrtles Plantation truly disturbing is that every part of the house has a story connected to fear, betrayal, sorrow, and tragedy. One of the most famous and terrifying legends is the story of Chloe. She was said to be a young enslaved woman who served in the main house. According to the story, she was caught eavesdropping on a private conversation. As punishment, someone cut off her ear. After that, she always wore a green headscarf to cover the injury. Desperate to win back favor, Chloe created a poisonous mixture that she slipped into a family dessert. Some versions of the story claim she intended only to make them sick so she could nurse them back to health, but the mixture was too strong. The wife and 2 of the children died within hours. The other enslaved workers feared being blamed for the deaths, so they took Chloe away and hanged her from a tree behind the house. Her spirit is said to have never left the property. Many people who visit Myrtles Plantation claim they have seen the ghost of Chloe standing quietly in doorways or walking near the veranda. She appears in old photographs even when people swear no one else was present. Sometimes she shows up in mirrors, often behind the shoulder of someone taking a picture. Tour guides speak about these events with seriousness because they have seen the images themselves. Some guests describe hearing soft footsteps behind them, followed by the sound of a woman whispering. Others say they smell faint perfume in rooms that have not been touched for hours. These moments leave visitors confused, frightened, and unable to explain what they have experienced. But Chloe is not the only spirit said to haunt the house. Another famous ghost is a young girl who appears near a grand staircase. She is believed to be one of the children who died long ago. Guests report seeing her for a brief moment before she vanishes. They describe her as wearing an old-fashioned dress and carrying a small doll. Sometimes people hear giggling or the sound of tiny footsteps running across the hallway, even though no children are staying at the plantation. The combination of innocence and horror makes this haunting especially chilling. Visitors also speak about the mysterious mirror in the main hallway. According to legend, the souls of the dead were trapped in the mirror because it was never covered during the mourning period. Many people claim to see handprints inside the glass, as if something is trying to escape. Others say they see faces staring back at them, even when they are standing alone. Some guests report touching the mirror and feeling cold vibrations under the surface, like the glass is alive. There are also stories about a shadow man who roams the halls at night. He appears tall and dark with no clear features. People only notice him in the corner of their eye. When they turn their heads, he disappears. He is most often seen standing near doorways. Some believe he is a former owner who refuses to leave. Others think he is something much older and more powerful, something that was present on the land long before the plantation was built. One guest reported waking up in the middle of the night because someone was pulling her blanket slowly off her body. She opened her eyes expecting to see her partner, but no one was there. The blanket continued sliding until it dropped to the floor. Another guest described feeling a hand press gently on her shoulder as she climbed the stairs. When she turned around, she was alone. Many visitors choose to sleep with their lights on because the darkness inside the house feels heavy and alive. Many paranormal investigators have spent nights at the Myrtles plantation. They bring cameras, sound recorders, and thermal imaging devices. Almost every team reports unusual activity. Images show strange reddish lights floating across rooms. Audio recordings capture voices whispering. Cold and warm spots appear and disappear like living shadows. Some investigators leave shaken and refuse to return. They say the spirits here do not simply reveal themselves. They interact. The Myrtles plantation is a beautiful place during the day, but once the sun sets, the atmosphere shifts completely. Darkness moves like a living creature. The air becomes thick. Even the trees outside seem to lean closer. Every sound feels amplified. Even the quiet feels unnatural. Some tourists cry without understanding why. Others feel a tightness in their chest the moment they walk inside the house. People do not always believe in ghosts, but almost everyone who visits Myrtles plantation agrees that something unexplainable lives there. Whether the legends are true or not, the energy inside the plantation cannot be ignored. Some say it is the emotional weight of the past. Some say it is the restless spirits of those who suffered. Others say the land itself remembers every tragedy and continues to echo the pain. Whatever the cause, the Myrtles plantation remains one of the most feared and fascinating haunted locations in the southern United States. If you dare to visit, you may find yourself standing face to face with the unknown. And once you leave the house, you might discover that something has followed you into the night. Number 2. The Crescent Hotel, Eureka Springs, Arkansas. The Crescent Hotel in Eureka Springs, Arkansas is often called one of the most haunted hotels in America. It stands high on a hill, overlooking the quiet town below. From a distance, the hotel looks peaceful and elegant, but once you step inside, the atmosphere changes. Many people say the building carries a strange energy that moves through the halls like a quiet warning. The Crescent Hotel is beautiful during the day, but at night it becomes a place filled with shadows, whispers, and unexplainable encounters that leave visitors shaken. The hotel opened in the late 1800s. At first, it was a luxury resort for wealthy guests who wanted to enjoy the natural springs in the area. The building was grand, the rooms were large, and the view was breathtaking. But the beauty of the Crescent Hotel could not hide the tragedies that happened over the years. Its history is full of sorrow, fear, and betrayal, and many people believe these events left deep marks on the hotel. They believe the spirits of those who suffered still walk the halls today. One of the most disturbing parts of the hotel's past is connected to a man named Norman Baker. In the 1930s, he turned the hotel into a hospital. He claimed he could cure cancer. Many desperate people came to him with hope, but his treatments were false. He had no medical experience. Instead of helping people, he caused pain, fear, and death. The basement of the hotel was used for experiments, and some say it became a place where many souls lost their lives without dignity. The fear and suffering from that period still lingers in the walls, and many visitors believe the spirits of the patients never left. One of the most famous ghosts is called Michael. He is believed to be a construction worker who died while building the hotel. According to the stories, he fell from the roof and died instantly. Today, guests and staff say they feel his presence in room 218. People report that lights turn on and off on their own. Doors open slowly without anyone touching them. Some guests wake up in the middle of the night because they feel someone sitting on the edge of their bed. Others hear footsteps walking across the room, even when they are alone. Some even claim they hear a man's voice, whisper their name softly in the dark. Another spirit often seen in the hotel is a young woman wearing a long white dress. People call her the Lady in White. She wanders the hallways late at night. Guests describe seeing her moving slowly, almost floating. She never speaks. She simply walks past and disappears. Some believe she is the ghost of a woman who died from heartbreak long ago. Others believe she is one of the patients who died during Baker's cruel experiments. Whatever her true identity, her presence brings a cold sadness that makes people uncomfortable. The hotel also has a ghost known as the nurse. She is often seen on the third floor. People describe her as wearing an old-fashioned uniform. They see her pushing a metal cart down the hallway. Some guests hear the wheels of the cart rattling long before they see her. But the moment she turns a corner, she vanishes completely. Many believe she is connected to the time when the hotel was a hospital. She is said to appear at exactly the same time every night, as if she is repeating the same routine forever. There are also reports of a small boy who runs through the hallways. Guests hear his laughter echoing down the corridors. Some have seen him peek from behind furniture before disappearing. Others say he likes to play tricks. They wake up to find their shoes moved across the room, or their belongings rearranged. The presence of a child in such a dark and tragic place makes his spirit even more unsettling. One of the most disturbing areas of the hotel is the basement. It was once used as a morgue during the hospital period. The temperature is always colder in that part of the building. Even on warm days, people feel a sudden chill when they step inside. Some guests hear knocking sounds on the walls. Others hear whispers or quiet sobbing. There are reports of shadows moving across the floor, even when the lights are on. Some visitors leave the basement in tears because the heaviness in the air is overwhelming. Paranormal investigators visit the Crescent Hotel often. They use cameras, spirit boxes, and thermal scanners. Almost every group captures something strange. Voices appear on recordings, even when the room is empty. Cold spots appear suddenly, and vanish just as fast. Shadows pass in front of cameras. Some investigators feel hands touching their arms or pulling at their clothes. There are reports of guests fainting from fear after encountering something they cannot explain. One famous photograph taken in the hotel shows a ghostly figure of a young girl sitting on the stairs. Her face is pale and blurred. Her dress looks old and torn. Many people have tried to recreate the image, but no one has been able to duplicate the ghostly figure. The photo remains one of the strongest pieces of evidence that something supernatural moves inside the hotel. People who stay overnight often say the building feels alive. The walls creak softly. Lights flicker without reason. The air feels thick, especially near the doors of certain rooms. Some visitors wake up because they feel someone breathing near their face. Others leave in the middle of the night because they feel they are being watched. Even the staff admit that they avoid certain areas when they are alone. They believe the ghosts in the hotel do not want to be disturbed. The Crescent Hotel has beauty, history, and charm, but beneath all that, it carries fear and sorrow. Every room has a memory. Every hallway has a story. The spirits that remain there are not quiet. They show themselves in small and large ways. They touch, whisper, move objects, and follow guests from room to room. Some spirits seem lost. Others seem angry. Some seem to be reliving their last moments again and again. People visit the Crescent Hotel because they want to feel something supernatural. Most of them do. Some leave believing more deeply in the spirit world. Others leave confused and frightened, unsure of what they experienced. The Crescent Hotel remains one of the most haunted places in the southern United States. Its past cannot be erased, and its ghosts refuse to be forgotten. If you ever visit Eureka Springs and decide to stay in the Crescent Hotel, remember one thing. You may enter the hotel alone, but you might not sleep alone. And if you feel someone standing at the foot of your bed at night, do not open your eyes. Number 3. Waverly Hills Sanatorium, Louisville, Kentucky. Waverly Hills Sanatorium in Louisville, Kentucky is one of the most terrifying and deeply haunted buildings in the United States. People call it a fortress of shadows, a place where fear never goes to sleep. The air feels heavy with sorrow. The long abandoned halls echo with memories that refuse to die. Even before you step inside, you sense the dread. The building seems aware of your presence. It feels like it is waiting for you. The sanatorium opened in the early 1900s during the tuberculosis outbreak. At that time, the disease was deadly, and there were no reliable treatments. Patients were brought to Waverly Hills by the hundreds. Many arrived hopeful. Most never left alive. Their bodies were taken out through the body chute. This long underground tunnel was used to hide the number of deaths from the other patients. Today, it is one of the most haunted parts of the property. Visitors feel watched as they walk through it. Some hear footsteps behind them. Some hear soft whispers calling their names. Some feel invisible hands brushing against them in the darkness. Inside the sanatorium, the atmosphere becomes even more unnerving. The hallways stretch endlessly. The smell of dust and decay fills the air. Rusted bed frames sit where patients once struggled to breathe. The silence is almost painful. It is thick, heavy, oppressive. Many people who tour the building say the quiet feels alive, as if the walls are listening. One of the most feared areas is the 5th floor. This is where the notorious Room 502 is located. Hospital workers believed this room was cursed. A nurse was found hanging from a pipe in the room. Another nurse later jumped from the window. Some say she was pushed by something she could not see. People who enter the room today claim to feel immediately sick. Some become dizzy. Some feel overwhelming sadness. Shadows move across the ceiling even when no one is walking. Others report hearing a woman sobbing softly in the corner. The children's wing is no less disturbing. Many young patients died here, yet their spirits seem strangely playful. Visitors see bouncing balls rolling across the floor. Doors open on their own. Laughter echoes faintly in the halls. A small boy named Timmy is the most famous ghost in this area. People leave toys for him. Many swear they have seen the toys move by themselves. The roof is another chilling location. During the tuberculosis era, patients were placed outside in the fresh air even during winter. Some froze, others suffocated. Today, the roof still carries that cold energy. People hear coughing, moaning, breathing that does not belong to anyone living. Some see figures walking along the edge. When they look again, the figures are gone. Countless paranormal investigators have visited Waverly Hills. Many of them left shaken. Shadow figures are common. Full-bodied apparitions appear and disappear in seconds. Voices are captured on recording devices. Sometimes they say, "Get out." Sometimes they say, "Help us." Doors slam without warning. Lights appear in rooms that have no electricity. Something roams the halls at night. Something that feels powerful and ancient. The building seems to feed on fear. The longer you stay, the heavier the energy becomes. Many visitors describe feeling drained. Others feel as if something is standing directly behind them. Some run out in panic. A few refuse to finish the tour. The most frightening part is how the building changes. What you see one moment may be gone the next. The sanatorium feels alive, watching, waiting. The legend of the body chute remains the core of its terror. Paranormal teams hear footsteps running up and down the tunnel. People have been touched by cold, invisible hands. Some feel something breathing on their necks. A few claim they saw a figure crawling along the floor. Not walking, crawling, slowly, silently. Waverly Hills holds more than ghosts. It holds emotional residue. Suffering still lingers in the air. The fear, the loneliness, the desperation of patients who knew they would die. Their final thoughts seem trapped within the walls. Even the outside of the building carries a dark presence. The trees feel colder. The wind moves differently. Animals avoid the property. The shadows gather earlier than they should. The building stands tall like a giant tomb made of concrete and lost souls. Many people visit hoping to experience something paranormal. Most leave with far more than they expected. Some leave trembling. Others leave crying. A few leave changed forever. Waverly Hills is not just haunted. It is a monument to pain. A reminder of a time when hope was scarce and death was constant. If you ever decide to visit, be ready. The building does not welcome the living. It tolerates you. For a moment. But once you step inside, the shadows seem to follow you. The air grows colder. The silence thickens. And something deep within the building opens its eyes. Waverly Hills Sanatorium is a place where the past refuses to rest. A place where spirits cling to the walls. A place where even the bravest visitors feel fear, sinking into their bones. It is one of the most haunted locations in the entire southern United States, and once you enter, you will understand why. Number 4. The Driscoll Hotel, Austin, Texas. The Driscoll Hotel in Austin, Texas is one of the most iconic and haunted hotels in the United States. Built in 1886 by Colonel Jesse Driscoll, it was intended to be the finest hotel in the South, a place of luxury and grandeur. Its towering limestone walls, grand staircases, and opulent ballrooms drew the wealthy and powerful. But behind its elegance hides a history steeped in tragedy, murder, and unexplained supernatural occurrences that continue to terrify visitors and staff alike. From the very beginning, the hotel has been associated with death. Colonel Driscoll's daughter died tragically shortly after the hotel opened. Guests reported seeing a little girl wandering the halls late at night, laughing and playing, only for her to vanish when approached. Many believe her spirit never left the building. Some say she appears near the mezzanine, peeking around corners with a sorrowful smile, while others claim she is seen near the elevators, her tiny hand resting on the rail, as if waiting for someone. The Driscoll Hotel has also been the site of countless unexplained occurrences. Staff members have long whispered about doors opening and closing on their own, elevators moving without passengers, and objects disappearing and reappearing in strange places. Some guests have reported hearing soft whispers in empty hallways, footsteps following them, even when no one else is around, and sudden chills in certain rooms. Many paranormal investigators have visited the hotel and captured eerie voices and shadowy figures on camera, adding to its infamous reputation. Room 525 is one of the most haunted rooms in the entire hotel. Guests who stay there often experience objects moving by themselves, lights flickering, and an overwhelming feeling of being watched. Some have reported seeing shadowy figures standing at the foot of their bed or sitting silently in the corner. Others have woken in the middle of the night to see an unknown figure standing over them, only for it to disappear when they blinked. Hotel staff tend to avoid the room whenever possible, especially late at night. The lobby and grand staircase are also hotspots for paranormal activity. Guests have reported seeing the ghost of a man in old-fashioned attire pacing the hall, appearing and disappearing at random. Some believe he was a guest or hotel employee who died tragically on the property, while others think he may be Colonel Driscoll himself, still wandering the halls of his creation. Others claim to see a woman in a long dress roaming the upper floors, her eyes filled with sorrow. Many have felt sudden cold drafts, particularly near the elevators and staircases, even when the air conditioning is off. Tragedy continued to haunt the Driscoll Hotel throughout the 20th century. Murders, suicides, and accidental deaths all contributed to the dark energy that lingers in its walls. Guests often hear unexplained noises during the night, like a piano playing softly in the distance, footsteps echoing through empty halls, and voices murmuring in languages no one speaks anymore. Staff have also reported hearing faint crying and laughter that seems to come from nowhere, as if the building itself remembers every sorrowful moment that occurred within its walls. The hotel has been featured in numerous paranormal documentaries and television shows, all drawn to its reputation as one of the most haunted places in Texas. Paranormal investigators frequently report cold spots, apparitions, and objects moving on their own. EVP recordings often capture faint voices, whispers, and unexplained sounds. Some guests even leave the hotel with photographs showing strange shadows or lights that cannot be explained. Even the hotel's exterior seems to hold an eerie energy. Its historic architecture, ornate ironwork, and towering limestone facade create a haunting presence, especially at night. Locals speak of the Driscoll as a building that watches over the city, quietly observing all who enter. Many claim to feel an unexplained heaviness in the air when standing outside, as if the building itself is alive with restless spirits. Despite its haunted reputation, the Driscoll Hotel continues to operate as a luxury destination. Visitors are drawn by its elegance, history, and chilling tales of the supernatural. Some stay in hopes of experiencing the paranormal firsthand, while others simply want to explore its rich history. But everyone who spends time inside feels the strange, unsettling energy that has lingered for more than a century. Whether it is the laughter of a lost child, the pacing of a shadowy figure, or the unexplained cold spots and noises, the Driscoll Hotel is a place where the past refuses to rest. Every corner, hallway, and room carries the weight of its tragic history, creating an atmosphere of suspense and fear. If you ever visit, be prepared. The spirits here are very real, and they are always watching. Number 5. The Sloss Furnaces, Birmingham, Alabama. The Sloss Furnaces in Birmingham, Alabama, stand as a massive reminder of America's industrial past, but they are also infamous as one of the most haunted places in the southern United States. Originally built in 1881, these iron furnaces were used to produce pig iron for nearly a century, and the long years of labor, industrial accidents, and deaths left a dark mark that some say still lingers today. The sprawling complex of rusting steel, catwalks, and massive furnaces provides an unsettling backdrop, even in the middle of the day. But at night, when the shadows stretch and the wind whistles through the empty machinery, the eerie energy becomes almost tangible. The history of the Sloss Furnaces is steeped in tragedy. Over the decades, numerous workers lost their lives in the plant. Some fell into molten iron, others were crushed under machinery, and countless more suffered fatal accidents that left their spirits restless. Locals and employees have long reported strange occurrences on the grounds, including disembodied footsteps echoing in empty halls, shadowy figures moving among the furnaces, and sudden cold spots that appear without explanation. Even those familiar with the layout of the complex report a sense of being watched when walking alone. Many visitors claim that the spirits at Sloss Furnaces are not always malevolent, but they are certainly persistent. One common report involves the ghost of a worker carrying a lantern, seen walking along the catwalks at night. Others have experienced strange machinery sounds, like the clanging of metal or the hiss of steam, despite all equipment being long since decommissioned. Some people report hearing voices calling their names, whispers carried by the wind, or even the sound of a child crying somewhere deep within the abandoned site. The Sloss Furnaces have become a focal point for paranormal investigators and thrill seekers. Many have documented inexplicable phenomena, including EVPs, capturing ghostly voices, cold spots in specific areas, and shadowy figures caught on camera. Some visitors report feeling sudden pressure on their chest, dizziness, or an overwhelming sense of unease in certain rooms or near the furnaces themselves. Paranormal experts believe that the high number of tragic deaths at the site has left an imprint, creating residual energy that continues to affect anyone who enters after dark. Particular areas of the site are considered especially haunted. The main furnace area, with its towering stacks and crisscrossing catwalks, is often the site of the most intense paranormal activity. Visitors have reported seeing apparitions climbing the ladders or standing silently among the shadows of the massive iron structures. The sound of chains dragging across the metal floors is another common experience, although no physical source is ever found. Many who visit alone claim to hear footsteps behind them, only to find the area completely empty when they turn around. One of the most chilling stories associated with the Sloss Furnaces involves a former foreman who is said to still roam the site. According to legend, this man died tragically during a machinery accident, and his spirit now guards the furnaces. Witnesses claim to see a stern figure in old work clothes, appearing to silently watch anyone who ventures too close to dangerous areas. Some believe that he warns people to respect the site, while others say he remains restless, replaying the laborious days and tragic accidents that defined his life. The Sloss Furnaces also have a reputation for strange lights and unexplained phenomena. Many people report seeing glowing orbs floating near the furnaces at night, or shadowy silhouettes moving along the catwalks. The deeper you venture into the complex, the more intense the experiences become. It is common for visitors to feel a sudden drop in temperature, hear whispers that seem to come from nowhere, or sense an unseen presence following them. These experiences often leave even the most skeptical visitors uneasy. Local lore suggests that the Sloss furnaces are cursed, not just because of the deaths that occurred there, but because of the anger and despair left behind by decades of grueling labor. Workers who suffered accidents or unfair treatment may have left spiritual imprints, creating a lingering atmosphere of unrest. The site's haunting reputation has grown over the years, attracting ghost hunters, historians, and thrill seekers, hoping to glimpse one of the many spirits said to inhabit the area. Despite its dark reputation, the Sloss furnaces remain a popular tourist attraction. The site has been preserved as a historic landmark, and daytime visitors are often drawn by its industrial history and impressive architecture. But as the sun sets and the shadows lengthen, the true nature of the site becomes evident. The sense of foreboding, the chilling whispers, and the eerie apparitions make it clear why the Sloss furnaces are considered one of the most haunted industrial sites in the United States. If you ever find yourself wandering the Sloss furnaces at night, you may feel the weight of the past pressing down upon you. The spirits are said to be everywhere, standing silently in the shadows, moving along the catwalks, or watching from the furnace stacks. Every creaking metal beam, every echoing footstep, and every gust of wind seems to carry a message from the past. It is a place where history and the supernatural collide, leaving an unforgettable impression on anyone who dares to explore it after dark. Number 6. The LaLaurie Mansion, New Orleans, Louisiana. The LaLaurie Mansion in New Orleans, Louisiana, is perhaps one of the most infamous haunted houses in the United States, if not the world. Built in the early 1800s, this elegant French Quarter mansion hides a dark and terrifying history that has left a lasting imprint on the city's lore. While its beautiful architecture and lavish design suggest wealth and sophistication, the stories associated with the mansion reveal a horrifying legacy of cruelty, murder, and restless spirits that continue to terrify all who dare approach it. The mansion's dark reputation originates from its owner, Madame Delphine LaLaurie, a socialite known for her wealth, charm, and sadistic tendencies. While outwardly respected in high society, Madame LaLaurie reportedly tortured and abused enslaved people within the mansion's walls. The horrifying details of her crimes came to light in 1834 when a fire broke out in the mansion. Firefighters arrived to extinguish the blaze, only to discover chained slaves in hidden attic rooms, many showing signs of brutal abuse. The discovery shocked the city and cemented the mansion's reputation as a place of unimaginable horror. Over the decades, countless reports have emerged of paranormal activity surrounding the LaLaurie Mansion. Visitors and neighbors have claimed to hear screams echoing from the empty house late at night, often accompanied by the sound of chains dragging across the floors or doors slamming violently without cause. Some report seeing ghostly apparitions in period clothing, wandering the halls or standing silently in the windows, staring out at passers-by. Others have experienced sudden cold spots, feelings of being watched, or an overwhelming sense of dread when near the property. The mansion is especially active in the areas believed to have been the site of Madame LaLaurie's atrocities. Attics and hidden rooms are said to be haunted by the spirits of the enslaved people who suffered there. Paranormal investigators have captured strange voices, unexplained knocks, and shadowy figures on camera. Some even report objects moving inexplicably, as though the spirits are attempting to communicate or reenact the horrors they endured. Many who enter claim that the oppressive energy of the house grows stronger as night falls, leaving a chilling reminder of the mansion's bloody past. Legends suggest that Madame LaLaurie herself may still haunt the property. Witnesses report seeing a ghostly figure resembling her, elegantly dressed but radiating malevolence. Some accounts describe her as wandering the halls, sometimes with a whip in hand, eternally reliving her cruel actions. Others claim she appears in the windows, staring out with an intense gaze that seems to pierce through anyone nearby. Whether the spirit is vengeful or trapped in the mansion as part of the curse remains unclear, but her presence is undeniably felt by those brave enough to approach. Visitors to the LaLaurie mansion have reported a wide array of disturbing experiences. Many recount hearing unexplained footsteps and whispers, even when no one else is in the building. Some describe cold drafts that move through the rooms despite sealed windows, while others report being pushed or touched by unseen hands. Paranormal experts believe that the combination of extreme suffering, violence, and fear within the mansion has created residual energy, leaving a lasting imprint on the property that manifests in terrifying ways. Even from the street, the mansion exudes a sinister aura. Its grand windows and ornate balconies now cast long shadows at night, and the surrounding streets are said to carry a weight of unease. Passers-by report seeing fleeting figures in the windows, hearing strange noises, or feeling an overwhelming sense of being watched. The building's notoriety has grown over the years, attracting ghost hunters, thrill seekers, and paranormal enthusiasts who hope to witness the unexplained for themselves. The LaLaurie mansion's terrifying reputation has inspired countless stories, books, and television shows, cementing its status as a central figure in New Orleans' haunted history. Local lore warns that those who dare enter alone may not leave untouched, and some even claim that a curse hangs over the property, affecting anyone who tries to own or occupy it. The mansion is not just a historic site. It is a chilling reminder of human cruelty and the lingering power of restless spirits. For those brave enough to explore the LaLaurie mansion, the experience is unforgettable. The combination of historical horror and paranormal activity creates an atmosphere that is both fascinating and frightening. Every creaking floorboard, every shadow in the corner, and every unexplained sound serves as a reminder that this is a place where the past refuses to rest. The mansion continues to stand as a symbol of terror, a location where history, tragedy, and the supernatural intersect in the most chilling ways imaginable. Visiting the LaLaurie mansion is not recommended for the faint of heart. The energy surrounding the property is heavy, oppressive, and often terrifying. Those who attempt to explore it report that the spirits are vigilant, the air is cold, and the sense of unease is almost suffocating. It is a location where the horrors of the past linger, leaving an indelible mark on anyone who comes near. The LaLaurie mansion remains one of the most haunted and disturbing houses in America, a place where the true nature of human evil meets the unexplainable presence of restless spirits. Its legacy is preserved not just in historical records, but in the countless ghost stories and paranormal encounters that continue to emerge from the property. For those seeking a brush with the supernatural, this mansion offers an experience like no other, blending history, horror, and the unknown into one unforgettable, spine-chilling location. Number 7. St. Augustine Lighthouse, St. Augustine, Florida. The St. Augustine Lighthouse in St. Augustine, Florida, is a towering structure by day, but as darkness falls, it transforms into one of the most haunting sights in the United States. With its iconic white and red striped tower overlooking the Atlantic Ocean, it attracts tourists for its historic significance and breathtaking views. Yet beneath its picturesque exterior lies a chilling history of tragedy, unexplained phenomena, and restless spirits that continue to terrorize all who dare to explore it after sunset. The lighthouse was originally constructed in the mid-1800s to aid navigation along Florida's treacherous coastline. From the very beginning, its history was marred by a series of unfortunate events. Construction accidents, shipwrecks nearby, and even the deaths of lighthouse keepers' family members cast a shadow over the property. Most famously, the lighthouse keeper's family endured a series of tragedies that would later fuel rumors of hauntings. Stories tell of mysterious deaths and disappearances, which seemed to leave lingering spirits trapped within the lighthouse walls, wandering its spiral staircases and darkened halls. Paranormal activity at the St. Augustine Lighthouse has been reported for decades. Visitors frequently describe hearing footsteps echoing in empty hallways, doors opening and closing on their own, and strange voices calling from the upper floors. Many claim to have felt sudden cold spots, as if an unseen presence was moving through the rooms. Shadows flit across the walls, often caught in the corner of one's eye, but disappearing when looked at directly. Some even report being touched or brushed by invisible hands, sending shivers down their spines. The lighthouse is notorious for the presence of several spirits. One of the most frequently reported is a young boy, believed to be the son of a former lighthouse keeper who died tragically on the property. Visitors have claimed to hear the laughter of a child, see a small figure running along the upper walkways, or feel a gentle tug at their clothing as if the boy is seeking attention. Paranormal investigators have captured unexplained sounds on audio recordings, as well as fleeting apparitions on camera, supporting the belief that the lighthouse is inhabited by restless spirits. The most haunted area is considered to be the lighthouse tower itself. As visitors ascend the spiral staircase, many report hearing phantom footsteps following them, whispers echoing from above, and sudden drops in temperature. The upper observation deck is often described as a location where an eerie presence is palpable, with some visitors claiming to see ghostly figures looking out over the ocean or moving along the railings. The tower seems to serve as a magnet for spiritual activity, amplifying the strange occurrences that plague the property. Another chilling element of the lighthouse's history involves shipwrecks off the Florida coast. Sailors lost at sea are said to haunt the lighthouse, with their desperate cries and apparitions sometimes reported by visitors. Witnesses have claimed to see spectral figures in maritime attire, walking along the grounds, vanishing as mysteriously as they appear. The combination of maritime tragedy, lighthouse history, and family misfortune has created a hotspot for supernatural encounters that continues to attract paranormal enthusiasts and ghost hunters. The lighthouse grounds are also home to several haunted sites, including the keeper's house, nearby storage buildings, and the cemetery where some of the early keepers were laid to rest. Visitors often report seeing figures standing silently among the tombstones, hearing footsteps on the gravel paths, and feeling sudden chills that seem to follow them across the property. Many believe that the spirits of those who worked and lived at the lighthouse continue to linger, unable to leave the place where they experienced both life and death. Legends surrounding the St. Augustine Lighthouse suggest that some of the spirits may not be entirely benevolent. Numerous visitors recount feeling a sense of dread upon entering the tower, as though something malevolent is watching from the shadows. Paranormal experts believe that the combination of tragic deaths, unresolved grief, and the harsh life of lighthouse keepers has created lingering energy that manifests in frightening ways. Some even claim that the spirits are aware of human presence, actively engaging with or attempting to warn visitors through unexplained phenomena. One of the most terrifying reports involves visitors seeing shadowy figures on the lighthouse balcony at night, even when no one else is present. Others have reported the sensation of being pushed, touched, or followed, leaving them unnerved and fearful for their safety. Cameras and recording devices often capture inexplicable light anomalies and strange sounds, reinforcing the belief that the lighthouse is a portal for the supernatural. Despite the chilling reports, the St. Augustine Lighthouse remains a popular tourist destination, offering guided tours that delve into its haunted history. Paranormal investigations are regularly conducted, and the stories of ghostly encounters continue to grow with each new visitor. Locals often warn newcomers that the spirits here are not to be taken lightly, and those brave enough to explore the lighthouse may find themselves confronting the past in ways that are both fascinating and terrifying. Visiting the St. Augustine Lighthouse is an unforgettable experience for those interested in history, maritime life, and the supernatural. The combination of scenic beauty and chilling hauntings creates a unique atmosphere where every creak, shadow, and unexplained noise serves as a reminder of the tragedies that occurred over a century ago. It is a place where the boundary between the living and the dead seems unusually thin, leaving visitors with stories and memories that are impossible to forget. The lighthouse continues to stand as a sentinel over St. Augustine, a place where history, tragedy, and the paranormal intersect. Its reputation as one of the most haunted locations in Florida is well earned, attracting ghost hunters, thrill seekers, and historians alike. Whether it is the sounds of phantom footsteps, ghostly apparitions, or the eerie presence of spirits lingering among the walls, the St. Augustine Lighthouse remains a chilling destination that commands respect and caution. For those considering a visit, the lighthouse offers both a journey through history and a brush with the unknown. It is not merely a landmark, but a living testament to the lives lost, the suffering endured, and the supernatural echoes that persist to this day. The experience is haunting, captivating, and unforgettable, ensuring that the St. Augustine Lighthouse remains a centerpiece in the world of haunted locations. Number 8. The Magnolia Hotel, Seguin, Texas. The Magnolia Hotel in Seguin, Texas, stands as one of the most chilling haunted locations in the southern United States, steeped in history, tragedy, and unexplained paranormal activity. Though it might appear as a charming historic hotel during the day, at night, its hallways echo with whispers, footsteps, and the restless energy of spirits who are said to never have left. The building, with its elegant architecture and southern charm, hides a darker, terrifying history that continues to haunt visitors and staff alike. Constructed in the late 1800s, the Magnolia Hotel was originally intended as a place of luxury for travelers and prominent citizens. Its grand design and refined interiors drew in a well-to-do clientele, but the hotel's history was marred by multiple tragedies. Over the decades, reports of sudden deaths, mysterious illnesses, and violent altercations became part of the hotel's legacy. Guests and employees alike would report feeling strange presences, hearing sounds from empty rooms, and seeing shadowy figures out of the corner of their eyes. Paranormal investigators and thrill seekers frequently cite the Magnolia Hotel as a hotspot for ghostly activity. The upper floors are said to be the most active, with guests reporting doors opening and closing on their own, strange drafts in hallways, and sudden drops in temperature. Some have claimed to hear muffled voices or crying, particularly near rooms where tragic deaths are rumored to have occurred. Staff members have often expressed unease at working in the hotel during late hours, with many claiming to experience inexplicable phenomena that cannot be explained by natural causes. One of the most persistent spirits is believed to be that of a former guest who died under mysterious circumstances in one of the guest rooms. Visitors report the faint sound of footsteps pacing back and forth, the scent of perfume lingering in the hallways when no one is present, and items mysteriously moving from their original positions. These occurrences are not isolated, and over the years, they have built a reputation for being undeniable to those who experience them firsthand. In addition to the guest rooms, the lobby and dining areas are also reported to host paranormal activity. Some patrons have described the feeling of being watched while sitting in these areas, only to look up and see empty chairs and tables. Others have reported seeing fleeting shadows dart across the walls, or hearing the faint clinking of cutlery and glasses when the hotel is entirely empty. Many believe that the energy of the past residents and guests remains trapped within the hotel, replaying the final moments of their lives over and over again. The Magnolia Hotel also carries stories of tragic love and betrayal, which many believe contribute to the lingering hauntings. Legends tell of lovers who met untimely ends within its walls, leaving behind sorrowful spirits whose emotions continue to resonate throughout the building. Guests often report feeling an overwhelming sense of sadness or melancholy in certain areas of the hotel, as if the sorrow of the past has become a tangible presence. Many of the paranormal encounters involve sudden physical sensations. Visitors often feel invisible hands brushing against their arms, chills running down their spines, or an inexplicable pressure on their shoulders. There are even accounts of people seeing figures in old-fashioned clothing moving through hallways, disappearing when confronted directly. Some rooms are believed to be particularly active, with guests reporting repeated disturbances, doors slamming, and lights flickering without explanation. The history of the hotel itself has been meticulously preserved, and part of its allure is the combination of architectural beauty and paranormal reputation. While many visitors are drawn to the Magnolia Hotel for its southern elegance and historic charm, those in the know are aware that they are also stepping into a location that has been shaped by tragedy and lingering spirits. Nighttime tours and paranormal investigations often attract people specifically seeking to encounter the unexplained. The hotel's staff have learned to respect the paranormal activity, often advising guests on which rooms are historically haunted and which areas seem to be the epicenter of ghostly energy. Despite the eerie atmosphere, the Magnolia Hotel remains operational and open to visitors, who leave with stories that range from chilling encounters to inexplicable phenomena that defy explanation. Legends suggest that some of the spirits within the Magnolia Hotel are aware of living visitors and may even attempt to interact with them. Guests have reported seeing shadows moving against the light, hearing whispers calling their names, and feeling a presence in the room even when alone. These encounters often leave a lasting impression, making it clear that the hotel is far more than just a historic building. It is a living testament to the lingering echoes of the past. The combination of historical significance, architectural beauty, and terrifying paranormal activity makes the Magnolia Hotel in Seguin, Texas, a must-visit location for anyone interested in ghost stories and supernatural experiences. Its reputation as one of the most haunted hotels in the region is well earned, attracting ghost hunters, thrill seekers, and those simply curious about the unknown. Visitors are warned to be cautious and respectful when exploring the hotel, as the spirits that inhabit its walls are known to be unpredictable. Whether it is footsteps echoing in empty hallways, doors opening on their own, or the sensation of unseen hands touching your shoulder, the Magnolia Hotel offers an unforgettable and spine-chilling encounter for anyone daring enough to enter its haunted halls. Number 9. The Old State Capitol, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The Old State Capitol in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, is one of the most infamous haunted locations in the southern United States. With its Gothic architecture, imposing spires, and shadow-filled hallways, it is a place that seems to carry the weight of history and the restless energy of spirits who refuse to move on. From the outside, the building is breathtaking, but inside it hides dark stories of political intrigue, violent deaths, and mysterious occurrences that have been reported for over a century. Constructed in the mid-1800s, the Old State Capitol quickly became a central hub for Louisiana politics. It witnessed heated debates, secretive plots, and the rise and fall of powerful figures. Over the years, the building has been the site of countless political conflicts, some of which ended tragically. Reports of ghostly apparitions, disembodied voices, and unexplained cold spots began to surface soon after its completion. Many believe that the intense emotions of politicians, staff, and visitors have left an indelible mark on the building, creating a hotspot for paranormal activity. One of the most reported phenomena involves the appearance of shadowy figures throughout the building. Witnesses claim to have seen men and women in period clothing wandering the hallways, sometimes disappearing when approached. Visitors often hear footsteps echoing in empty corridors, the slam of doors that no one touched, and murmurs of conversations that seem to come from nowhere. Some have reported seeing ghostly images of past governors or politicians standing silently in offices or near the chambers where key decisions were made. The Gothic architectural style of the building, complete with turrets and narrow staircases, only enhances its eerie atmosphere. At night, the Old State Capitol appears even more foreboding, with its silhouette against the Louisiana sky seeming to whisper stories of the past. Paranormal investigators frequently note that the energy within the building fluctuates, with some rooms being extremely active, while others remain eerily quiet. Hallways are often filled with sudden chills, unexplained drafts, and the sensation of being watched. One of the most chilling reports comes from the former legislative chambers. Visitors have reported seeing ghostly figures sitting at the desks, as if continuing a session from decades past. Some claim that the ghosts replay events from the building's turbulent history, leaving a feeling of unease that lingers long after leaving the room. Other visitors have experienced sudden feelings of anxiety or dread for no apparent reason, a phenomenon believed to be linked to residual energy from past conflicts and tragedies. The Old State Capitol also has a reputation for haunted stairwells and offices. People report seeing shadows moving quickly across the walls, lights flickering without cause, and objects mysteriously moving. Staff members occasionally encounter doors that lock or unlock on their own, strange noises echoing through empty hallways, and even full apparitions in certain rooms. These experiences are not limited to one area. The entire building is steeped in paranormal reports. Legends tell of individuals who suffered violent deaths within the Old State Capitol, their spirits allegedly trapped by unfinished business or strong emotional ties. Some stories suggest that certain ghostly figures are aware of visitors, following them through the hallways, or appearing suddenly in reflective surfaces. Paranormal investigators have captured numerous recordings of unexplained sounds, footsteps, and shadowy movements, further fueling the belief that the old state capitol is one of Louisiana's most haunted structures. Tours of the old state capitol often include mentions of its paranormal history, and visitors are frequently warned to remain respectful and cautious. Those who are sensitive to spirits often report overwhelming feelings of pressure, sadness, or fear in certain areas of the building. Even for skeptics, the combination of the building's dramatic Gothic architecture and the countless first-hand accounts of paranormal activity make the old state capitol a spine-chilling experience. The building's history is not just political, but also deeply personal for those who lived, worked, and sometimes died there. Many ghost stories center around the tragic fates of individuals who met untimely ends within the walls, leaving behind emotional imprints that continue to affect the living. Witnesses report everything from fleeting glimpses of apparitions to persistent, cold spots, whispering voices, and even doors opening by themselves. Despite its chilling reputation, the old state capitol remains a popular historical site and museum. Visitors are drawn not only by its rich political history, but also by the thrill of experiencing a place where the past is never truly gone. Ghost hunters and paranormal enthusiasts flock to the building, hoping to catch a glimpse of the unexplained, while others come to simply feel the atmosphere and hear the haunting tales passed down through generations. Whether it is the sound of footsteps echoing in an empty hallway, the sight of a shadowy figure disappearing around a corner, or the sudden feeling of being watched, the old state capitol delivers a spine-tingling experience that leaves visitors questioning the line between history and the supernatural. For those brave enough to explore its haunted halls, the old state capitol in Baton Rouge offers a haunting glimpse into Louisiana's dark and mysterious past. Number 10. The Marshall House, Savannah, Georgia. The Marshall House in Savannah, Georgia is not just a beautiful example of historic architecture. It is also one of the most haunted hotels in the southern United States. Built in the mid-1800s, the building has witnessed a multitude of dark events, from deadly epidemics to murders, leaving behind restless spirits that are said to linger within its walls. Guests and staff alike report a wide array of paranormal activity, making the Marshall House a chilling destination for those fascinated by the supernatural. Located in the heart of Savannah, the Marshall House has a reputation for being one of the most haunted accommodations in the city. During its early years, it served as a hospital during a deadly yellow fever epidemic. Many patients perished within the hotel, and some say that their spirits never left. Visitors often report cold spots, strange noises, and the unsettling feeling of being watched. In some rooms, guests have woken up to the sound of footsteps or seen ghostly apparitions hovering near the beds. One of the most frequently reported phenomena involves the original surgical room, where some guests claim to have seen ghostly figures dressed in old medical attire. Apparitions of nurses and doctors carrying out their duties long after death have been described as moving silently through the halls. Shadows dart across the floors, and doors seem to open and close on their own. Some witnesses have felt invisible hands brush against them, or have heard whispers in empty rooms. Another disturbing aspect of the Marshall House is its haunted ballroom. Although it is now used for events and receptions, stories tell of past tragedies that took place there. Guests report hearing faint music playing when no instruments are present, and seeing figures dancing in the shadows. It is said that the energy of sorrow and suffering lingers in the room, creating an atmosphere that is simultaneously eerie and captivating. Several rooms in the hotel are notorious for their paranormal activity. Guests have reported seeing apparitions of former hotel residents, experiencing sudden drops in temperature, and hearing inexplicable noises such as rattling chains, doors creaking, or furniture moving on its own. Many who stay overnight report feelings of intense unease, as if unseen entities are observing every movement. Paranormal investigators have captured EVPs, unexplained shadows, and other evidence suggesting that the Marshall House is indeed haunted. The history of violence and death associated with the Marshall House contributes significantly to its haunted reputation. Beyond the yellow fever epidemic, the hotel has also been linked to murders and suicides, leaving a trail of emotional energy that some believe has manifested as ghostly activity. The spirits are often described as restless and sometimes even interactive, with reports of lights flickering, objects being displaced, and cold drafts that appear suddenly and without explanation. Guests have described seeing shadowy figures in period clothing walking down the hallways, vanishing as they approach. Some report hearing doors slam shut behind them, or hearing the soft murmur of conversations from long-deceased individuals. Staff members frequently mention feeling sudden chills, the sensation of being touched, or seeing fleeting figures out of the corner of their eyes. These experiences have persisted for decades, making the Marshall House a renowned hotspot for paranormal encounters in Savannah. Even the building's architecture seems to amplify its haunted atmosphere. With creaking floors, narrow staircases, and darkened corridors, the Marshall House has an environment that naturally heightens fear and tension. At night, the shadows seem to take on a life of their own, and the echoing footsteps of the past are almost palpable. Visitors often find themselves on edge, aware that the hotel is not just a historic landmark, but a living repository of the city's darkest history. Some of the most chilling reports come from rooms where guests have witnessed full apparitions of former residents or patients. Faces have been seen peering through windows, and some people claim to have felt invisible presences sitting on their beds or standing in the corners of their rooms. Whispered voices, sudden temperature drops, and unexplained noises are common, leaving both skeptics and believers with a lingering sense of unease. The hotel embraces its haunted reputation, offering ghost tours and sharing its history of tragic events. Visitors are warned to respect the spirits and be prepared for experiences that may defy logical explanation. Even for those who do not believe in ghosts, the combination of history, tragedy, and eerie architecture creates a deeply unsettling experience that lingers long after leaving the property. Whether it is the shadowy figures wandering the hallways, the sudden chills, or the inexplicable sounds echoing through the building, the Marshall House provides a haunting glimpse into Savannah's dark past. Each room seems to tell a story of suffering, tragedy, and restless spirits, making it a must-visit location for thrill-seekers, paranormal enthusiasts, and anyone curious about haunted history. Number 11. The Ryman Auditorium, Nashville, Tennessee. The Ryman Auditorium in Nashville, Tennessee, is not only a historic music venue, but also one of the most haunted places in the southern United States. Built in 1892, the Ryman has hosted countless performers and witnessed decades of history, yet it is equally renowned for its paranormal activity. Ghost hunters and visitors alike have reported eerie sounds, sudden cold spots, and unexplained movements throughout the building, making it a hotspot for those fascinated by the supernatural. The Ryman's haunted reputation stems from its long and sometimes tragic past. Over the years, patrons and staff have reported hearing disembodied voices, footsteps in empty hallways, and doors opening and closing on their own. Many have claimed to see shadowy figures moving across the stage or in the balcony, particularly in areas where accidents or deaths reportedly occurred. Some performers have even said they felt invisible presences watching them during rehearsals or performances, an unnerving experience that adds a layer of tension to the historic venue. One of the most famous ghost stories involves the spirit of a former caretaker who reportedly roams the halls at night. Guests and staff have described seeing a man in period clothing, walking silently, vanishing when approached. Others report hearing unexplained laughter, clapping, or conversations coming from empty rooms. These auditory phenomena are particularly unnerving because they often occur during quiet moments when no one else is nearby, creating an atmosphere of suspense and fear. The stage itself is another focal point for paranormal activity. Musicians and crew members have reported instruments moving on their own, lights flickering inexplicably, and sudden gusts of cold air that seem to sweep across the auditorium. Some believe that the countless performances and emotional energy left behind over decades have contributed to the residual hauntings, making the Ryman a place where the past never truly rests. Visitors frequently note cold spots that appear suddenly and without explanation, often accompanied by the feeling of being watched. Some have reported feeling a hand brush against them or seeing fleeting shadows in the corners of their vision. These encounters are not limited to staff. Tour groups often experience the same phenomena, with unexplained noises echoing through empty hallways or the sensation of someone standing near them when no one is present. The balcony areas of the Ryman are also notorious for ghost sightings. Several reports describe apparitions appearing near the edges of the upper levels, looking down at the stage as if reliving past performances. Some of these figures have been seen in old-fashioned clothing, suggesting that they are spirits from the auditorium's earlier days. Patrons who have witnessed these apparitions often describe an overwhelming feeling of sadness or melancholy, as if the ghosts carry the weight of history with them. Staff members have noted that certain rooms, particularly backstage areas, are more active than others. Equipment sometimes moves on its own, lights flicker, and strange sounds echo through the corridors. Many believe that these hauntings are connected to the building's history as a gathering place for thousands of people over the years, with intense emotions and energy leaving a lasting imprint on the space. Even during the daytime, the Ryman exhibits signs of its paranormal activity. Visitors report hearing footsteps in empty hallways, feeling sudden temperature drops, or experiencing strange sensations of being touched. Photographs taken inside the auditorium occasionally reveal unexplained shadows or orbs, adding to the venue's mystique. These occurrences have been documented by paranormal investigators, further solidifying the Ryman's reputation as one of the most haunted locations in Tennessee. The eerie atmosphere of the Ryman Auditorium is not limited to the interior. The surrounding grounds and nearby alleys have also been the site of ghostly encounters. Some claim to hear music or singing coming from the empty building late at night, while others report seeing figures moving behind closed doors or in dimly lit corridors. These experiences have left visitors both terrified and fascinated, cementing the Ryman's status as a landmark of paranormal intrigue. Whether you are a music enthusiast, a history buff, or a thrill seeker, the Ryman Auditorium offers a chilling glimpse into the supernatural side of Nashville. Its combination of historical significance, tragic events, and documented paranormal activity creates an unforgettable experience for those brave enough to explore its haunted halls. The spirits of performers, staff, and patrons from over a century past continue to linger, making the Ryman a living monument to both music and the mysterious world beyond. Number 12. The Shiloh Battlefield, Shiloh, Tennessee. The Shiloh Battlefield in Shiloh, Tennessee, is one of the most chilling historic sites in the United States, known for its intense Civil War history and the overwhelming paranormal activity that persists to this day. The battlefield was the site of one of the bloodiest conflicts in the Civil War, fought in April of 1862, where thousands of soldiers lost their lives over 2 grueling days. The sheer scale of death and suffering has left a profound mark on the land, creating a setting rife with ghost stories and unexplained occurrences. Visitors to the Shiloh battlefield have reported hearing the sounds of gunfire and marching soldiers, even though no military exercises are taking place. These auditory hallucinations, sometimes accompanied by the groans of the wounded and cries of the dying, are said to echo through the fields at night, creating a terrifyingly immersive experience for anyone walking the grounds after dark. Many believe that these sounds are residual energy left behind from the intense battles that occurred there. Spectral figures are commonly reported by those exploring the battlefield. Some visitors have seen ghostly soldiers in period uniforms moving across the fields, disappearing into the morning mist or fading as they approach. Others claim to witness shadowy figures standing silently among the trees, often accompanied by an oppressive feeling of dread. Paranormal investigators have captured some of these apparitions on film, adding weight to the stories of lingering spirits who cannot find peace. One particularly haunting aspect of Shiloh is the feeling of being watched, which many visitors describe as an almost physical presence. Even during the day, the atmosphere is heavy and tense, as if the echoes of battle still resonate in the air. Some have experienced sudden cold spots, unexplained whispers, or the sensation of hands brushing against them as they traverse the historic grounds. These sensations leave an indelible impression and make walking through the battlefield a spine-chilling experience. Certain areas of the battlefield are considered hotspots for paranormal activity. The Hornet's Nest, where some of the most intense fighting occurred, is notorious for reports of ghostly figures reliving their final moments. Visitors and reenactors alike have experienced dizziness, sudden chills, and the eerie feeling of being surrounded by invisible observers. Witnesses often describe the air as thick with tension, and the sounds of battle reverberating faintly in the distance, creating an unsettling sense of connection to the past. Many who have visited the Shiloh battlefield at night have encountered strange lights and orbs hovering above the fields. These unexplained phenomena often appear where soldiers were known to have fallen, or where skirmishes were particularly fierce. Paranormal investigators attribute these lights to spiritual energy or manifestations of the trauma experienced by those who died in battle. Whether or not one believes in ghosts, the presence of these lights and the stories surrounding them create an atmosphere that is both fascinating and terrifying. Visitors also report experiencing sudden feelings of sadness or despair in specific areas of the battlefield. Some describe a heavy weight pressing down on their chest or an overwhelming sense of sorrow that cannot be explained. Historians and paranormal enthusiasts suggest that the land itself holds a memory of the suffering endured during the battle, and that energy remains trapped there, influencing those who walk its grounds. Accounts of ghostly apparitions often include soldiers performing routine military activities, as if time has looped back to that fateful April of 1862. Some witnesses have described seeing troops marching silently, tending to the wounded, or standing in formation, their faces grim and hollow. These manifestations are often fleeting, but leave a lasting impression, reinforcing the battlefield's reputation as a place where the past refuses to remain buried. Even modern-day events on the battlefield have reported strange occurrences. Reenactments and guided tours sometimes encounter inexplicable phenomena, such as objects moving on their own, voices speaking in the wind, or equipment malfunctioning without cause. These experiences blur the line between history and the supernatural, making the Shiloh battlefield a destination that combines historical education with spine-tingling encounters. Whether you are a history enthusiast, a paranormal investigator, or simply a thrill seeker, the Shiloh battlefield offers a deeply haunting experience. Its combination of historical significance, documented paranormal activity, and chilling atmosphere makes it one of the most haunted sites in the southern United States. Visitors are often left with an unsettling awareness that the battlefield is more than just a historical site. It is a place where the past lives on in spectral form, a place where the echoes of war continue to haunt the living. Number 13. The Queen Anne Hotel, San Francisco, California. The Queen Anne Hotel in San Francisco, California, is a place steeped in elegance, history, and chilling paranormal activity. Built in the late 1800s as a girls' finishing school, the building has witnessed over a century of human drama, tragedy, and mysterious events. Its beautiful Victorian architecture and lavish interiors hide a darker side, making it one of the most haunted hotels in the United States. Guests and staff alike report strange and unexplainable occurrences within the hotel's halls. One of the most famous spirits is that of Miss Mary Lake, the headmistress of the original school. She is said to still roam the corridors, maintaining order in her strict and commanding way. Those who encounter her presence often describe a cold breeze or a feeling of being watched, as if the spirit of the headmistress is scrutinizing their every move. The guest rooms of the Queen Anne Hotel are frequently the site of paranormal activity. Visitors have reported objects moving on their own, doors opening and closing without explanation, and unexplained knocking or tapping sounds. Some guests have woken to find their personal belongings shifted, or even felt an invisible presence brushing against them while they slept. Many describe these experiences as deeply unsettling, yet strangely compelling, drawing paranormal enthusiasts and thrill seekers alike. Room 410, in particular, has gained notoriety for repeated reports of ghostly activity. Guests have reported hearing footsteps pacing the floor above them, voices whispering in the dead of night, and shadowy figures appearing in the corners of their eyes. Some have even claimed to see the ghostly apparition of a young girl, wandering the hallways with a somber expression, a reminder of the building's past as a school. The combination of historical tragedy and lingering spirits makes Room 410 a focal point for paranormal investigations. The hotel's common areas, such as the grand staircase and the dining room, are also hotbeds of supernatural phenomena. Visitors frequently feel sudden chills, hear faint laughter, or experience the sensation of being touched by unseen hands. The energy within these spaces is said to be thick and almost tangible, leaving many guests with an eerie awareness that they are not alone. Paranormal investigators have documented strange orbs and shadowy figures in photographs, reinforcing the building's reputation as a haunted hotspot. Over the years, the Queen Anne Hotel has attracted a variety of visitors intrigued by its ghostly reputation. From paranormal investigators to curious tourists, many have sought to experience the haunting firsthand. Numerous stories have been shared in books, documentaries, and online forums, detailing encounters that range from subtle sensations to full-bodied apparitions. The consistency of these reports suggests that the spirits of the hotel are active and persistent, unwilling to leave the building they have called home for over a century. Beyond the thrill of ghostly sightings, the Queen Anne Hotel also offers a window into San Francisco's history. The building itself is a beautifully preserved Victorian structure, showcasing the architectural style and cultural atmosphere of the late 19th century. Its haunted nature adds a layer of intrigue to its historical significance, blending the allure of history with the thrill of the paranormal. Guests are often drawn to the hotel not only for its luxury and charm, but also for the opportunity to walk the same halls where spirits are said to linger. Visitors have reported that the hauntings are not malevolent, but rather a reflection of the past. The spirits seem to be echoes of the people who lived and worked there, trapped by memories and unresolved histories. The combination of eerie experiences, historical ambiance, and Victorian charm creates a unique atmosphere that is simultaneously beautiful and terrifying. Those who stay at the Queen Anne Hotel often leave with stories to tell, a sense of wonder, and a lingering feeling that the past is never truly gone. Whether you are a believer in the supernatural or a skeptic, a visit to the Queen Anne Hotel is an unforgettable experience. The hotel blends historical significance, architectural beauty, and paranormal intrigue into a single captivating location. For those brave enough to explore its haunted halls, the Queen Anne Hotel offers a chilling encounter with the spirits of the past, ensuring that the memories of those who lived and died within its walls remain alive for generations to come. Number 14. The Biloxi Lighthouse, Biloxi, Mississippi. The Biloxi Lighthouse in Biloxi, Mississippi, is one of the most iconic and eerie structures along the Gulf Coast. Built in 1848, it has withstood hurricanes, war, and the relentless march of time. Yet it is not just its resilience that has made it famous. The lighthouse is also considered one of the most haunted places in the southern United States, drawing paranormal enthusiasts and history buffs alike. Legends surrounding the Biloxi Lighthouse tell of tragic deaths and lingering spirits. One of the most well-known stories involves a young lighthouse keeper who died under mysterious circumstances. Some say he fell to his death while performing routine maintenance, while others claim that foul play was involved. Visitors and local residents report strange occurrences in and around the lighthouse, including cold drafts, sudden feelings of unease, and unexplained footsteps echoing along the spiral staircase. The interior of the lighthouse is particularly unnerving for those who venture inside. The narrow, winding staircase seems to amplify every sound, making even a simple creak or groan of the building feel ominous. Some visitors claim to have heard faint whispers or calls for help, as if the spirits of the past are attempting to communicate with the living. Photographs taken inside sometimes reveal mysterious orbs of light, and shadowy figures have been captured in images without any logical explanation. Those who have stayed near or explored the lighthouse at night often recount a heavy, oppressive atmosphere. The energy is described as thick and palpable, and many report a sensation of being watched by unseen eyes. People have felt touches or brushes from invisible hands, adding to the sense of dread that permeates the space. Despite these unnerving experiences, the hauntings are generally considered to be non-violent, more like echoes of past lives than threats to the living. The Biloxi Lighthouse also has a tragic maritime history that adds to its spectral allure. Many ships have been wrecked along the Gulf Coast near Biloxi, and it is believed that some of the souls of drowned sailors now linger around the lighthouse. Fishermen and tourists alike have reported seeing ghostly figures walking along the shoreline or appearing in the beams of the lighthouse at night, giving the impression that the spirits are eternally bound to the sea and the guiding light of the structure. Local guides often share chilling stories with visitors, recounting strange phenomena and encounters that have taken place over decades. People have reported hearing the sound of chains dragging across the floor, doors opening and closing on their own, and lights flickering without explanation. Some even claim to have seen the ghostly image of a former keeper, standing solemnly at the top of the tower, looking out over the gulf as if performing his eternal duties. The lighthouse has also been the subject of numerous paranormal investigations. Teams of ghost hunters have set up cameras, audio recorders, and motion sensors to capture evidence of supernatural activity. Many report capturing unexplained sounds, cold spots, and sudden drops in temperature that cannot be explained by the weather or building structure. These investigations reinforce the reputation of the Biloxi Lighthouse as a haunted location where the past and present seem to intersect in chilling ways. Despite its haunted reputation, the Biloxi Lighthouse remains a beloved historic landmark. Visitors are drawn not only to its ghost stories, but also to its architectural beauty and the breathtaking views it offers of the Gulf Coast. The combination of scenic charm and supernatural intrigue makes it a unique destination for both tourists and thrill seekers. Many who visit leave with stories of their own, recounting eerie sensations and unexplained sightings that add to the legend of the lighthouse. The hauntings of the Biloxi Lighthouse serve as a reminder of the lives and tragedies that have unfolded along the Gulf Coast over the past century. Whether it is the spirit of a lighthouse keeper, a lost sailor, or an unexplained presence lingering in the shadows, the lighthouse continues to captivate the imagination of those who dare to explore it. Its blend of history, mystery, and paranormal activity ensures that it will remain a destination for those seeking a spine-chilling experience. For anyone brave enough to venture inside or explore its surroundings, the Biloxi Lighthouse offers a rare glimpse into the supernatural. The combination of historical events, tragic tales, and persistent hauntings creates an atmosphere that is both beautiful and terrifying. Visitors leave with a deep respect for the past and an undeniable sense that the spirits of Biloxi still linger, watching over the coast and the lighthouse that has stood through it all. Number 15. The Moon River Brewing Company, Savannah, Georgia. The Moon River Brewing Company in Savannah, Georgia, is not just a popular spot for craft beer enthusiasts, but also one of the most haunted locations in the southern United States. Housed in a historic building dating back to the 1800s, the brewery has been the site of countless ghost stories, eerie encounters, and unexplained paranormal activity that continues to draw both thrill seekers and paranormal investigators. The building itself was originally constructed as a warehouse and has seen a variety of uses over the years, including a tavern, a boarding house, and storage for goods arriving via the nearby port. Its long and storied history is punctuated by tragedy and misfortune, which many believe has left behind residual energies. Patrons often report feeling sudden drops in temperature, as if cold, unseen hands brush past them. There have also been numerous accounts of phantom footsteps echoing through the hallways late at night when the EA brewery is empty. Perhaps the most famous ghost story involves a former tavern owner who is said to haunt the premises. Legends tell of a man who met a violent death on the property, and his restless spirit is believed to linger, occasionally appearing to staff and visitors. People have reported seeing shadowy figures moving across the brewery floor, glasses being mysteriously moved, and unexplained noises that sound like whispers or muted conversations. Some even claim that their beer taps or brewing equipment will inexplicably turn on or off without explanation. The ambiance of the Moon River Brewing Company contributes to its chilling reputation. Its exposed brick walls, creaking floors, and dimly lit corners create the perfect setting for supernatural encounters. Guests often describe an uncanny feeling of being watched, and some have reported seeing apparitions standing silently in the corners of the rooms or moving past tables filled with unsuspecting patrons. Photographs taken within the brewery sometimes reveal mysterious orbs of light, shadowy figures, or fleeting glimpses of faces that were not present during the time of the photo. Staff members have their own collection of ghost stories, some of which are spine-chilling. Employees report hearing footsteps when they are alone, objects being moved without explanation, and doors opening or closing on their own. Some even claim to have seen a figure dressed in 19th century clothing wandering the halls, vanishing when approached. Despite these eerie occurrences, most hauntings are considered more mischievous than malevolent, adding a mysterious charm to the brewery rather than presenting true danger. Paranormal investigators have frequently visited the Moon River Brewing Company to document its supernatural activity. Using thermal cameras, audio recorders, and motion sensors, many have captured strange anomalies that defy logical explanation. Sudden temperature drops, unexplained sounds, and shadowy figures have all been reported, making it one of the most compelling haunted locations in Georgia. These investigations have helped solidify the brewery's reputation as a hotspot for ghost enthusiasts and thrill seekers. The Moon River Brewing Company also plays host to special events like ghost tours and paranormal nights, where guests can explore the haunted spaces under the guidance of experienced storytellers. These events often combine history, legend, and eerie personal accounts to create an unforgettable experience. Visitors leave with chilling stories of their own, whether it is the sudden sensation of being touched by an invisible presence or witnessing a shadow pass through a wall. Local lore adds further depth to the haunting. Savannah itself is known as one of the most haunted cities in America, and the Moon River Brewing Company sits at the heart of this history. Tales of sailors, merchants, and unfortunate souls who lived or died in the building create a tapestry of ghostly lore that continues to intrigue and terrify visitors. The mixture of historical tragedy and paranormal activity ensures that the brewery remains a magnet for those drawn to the macabre. Despite the chilling experiences reported by many, the Moon River Brewing Company remains a vibrant and beloved establishment. Visitors are drawn not only by the reputation of hauntings, but also by the quality of its food, drinks, and atmosphere. This combination of culinary delight and spine-tingling encounters makes it a uniquely memorable destination for locals and tourists alike. For those who dare to visit, the Moon River Brewing Company offers more than just craft beer. It offers a glimpse into the past, a brush with the supernatural, and the chance to feel the presence of history in a way that is both thrilling and unnerving. Whether it is a shadow in the corner of your eye, a cold gust of air, or an unexplained noise, the building serves as a reminder that the past never truly leaves, lingering in the spaces we occupy and the stories we tell. As we come to the end of our chilling journey through the South's most haunted locations, take a moment to let it all sink in. Each of these places, from the misty halls of the Myrtles Plantation in Louisiana to the historic and haunted Moon River Brewing Company in Georgia, has a story. Each shadowed hallway, creaking floorboard, and sudden cold gust of air tells a tale of lives long gone, tragedies that linger, and spirits that have not yet found peace. These are not just stories to scare or thrill us. They are echoes of the past, whispers of history that refuse to be forgotten. Some hauntings are the result of unimaginable tragedy, while others seem to be born of mystery and legend. When you walk into these locations, you are stepping into a world where the boundaries between the living and the dead blur. You can feel the weight of history pressing down, and sometimes, just sometimes, you might sense the presence of those who remain unseen. As fascinating as these stories are, they are also reminders of the fragility of life and the unknown that surrounds us. Many have tried to document these hauntings, to capture proof of the supernatural with cameras, audio devices, and sensors. Yet some experiences remain stubbornly inexplicable. There is something deeply human about our fascination with the paranormal. Perhaps it is our curiosity, our fear, or even a desire to connect with something beyond ourselves. These haunted places stir those feelings, drawing us into a world that is just beyond the veil of the ordinary. If you are a lover of the eerie, the mysterious, or the unexplained, there is something undeniably thrilling about visiting these haunted locations. Even if you never witness a ghostly figure or hear a whisper from the past, the stories themselves linger in your mind. They make the air feel heavier, the shadows longer, and the creaks in the floorboards just a little more sinister. That is the power of these haunted sites. They do not just exist in history books or ghost stories. They live in the present, in the way we feel, the way we imagine, and the way we dare to explore the unknown. For those who are brave enough to experience it firsthand, these haunted locations are more than just tourist attractions. They are lessons in history, in human emotion, in tragedy, and sometimes in the unexplained. Each visit is a chance to connect with the past, to step into the stories that have echoed through time, and to feel, if only for a moment, the presence of something beyond our understanding. But remember, these places are not for the faint of heart. They are best approached with caution, respect, and perhaps a little skepticism, but also an open mind to the mysteries that they hold. If you found yourself captivated, chilled, or simply fascinated by this journey through the haunted South, there is a simple way to show your support and continue exploring the unknown. Like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more spine-tingling content. By subscribing, you ensure that you never miss a story, a haunted location, or a ghostly encounter. And the more we share, the more we can explore together, discovering new places and uncovering the stories that remain hidden, waiting to be told. Comment below with your own experiences if you have ever dared to visit a haunted location, or which of these haunted sites you would like to see explored in more detail. Every story, every experience adds to the legacy of these places. Your engagement helps build a community of fellow seekers, explorers, and lovers of the paranormal, a place where history, mystery, and the supernatural collide. And remember, whether you are visiting a haunted plantation, a historic hotel, or an eerie brewery, always respect the space, honor the history, and tread lightly. These are not just locations. They are vessels of memory, echoing with the lives and tragedies of those who came before us. Some hauntings are playful, some are chilling, and some defy explanation entirely. But each one reminds us of the thin veil that separates the living from the dead, the known from the unknown, and the ordinary from the extraordinary. So, take this journey with us, embrace the chills, and let your curiosity guide you through the haunted landscapes of the southern United States. And as always, remember to like, share, and subscribe, because there are more stories waiting, more mysteries to uncover, and more haunted places to explore. The ghosts are waiting. The stories are waiting. Are you ready to take the next step into the unknown?